Now I want to come back and dig into how do you solve this problem. And I want to, on this episode, cover the vision topic. Now, the challenge is, depending on how you diagnose yourself, it's a little hard for me to solve an issue that I don't know what you diagnosed. But what I would start off with is, can I write a vision statement for my practice about where I want to be? So maybe today I'm here, whatever here is. Where do I want to be in 5 or 10 years? If I were to dream up my ideal practice with no restrictions in 10 years, how many hours I work, how many patients I see, the type of dentistry I do, the type of employee I have, the energy in our office. I want you first just to close your eyes and think about what all of those things look like. I like how Stephen Covey teaches it, begin with the end in mind and then reverse engineer it. And in dentistry, you do a wonderful job of this, right? You can look in my mouth, see whatever I've got going on. You have a very clear vision for what it'll look like when it's done, and then you reverse engineering. You call it phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 of treatment. I want you to do the same thing for your practice. What income, what revenue numbers, what are the metrics, the hard numbers that you want to have in 10 years? Write it down. Step 2, how many hours do you want to work a week in your practice? How many days, how many hours? Write it down. Step 3, what kind of dentistry and treatment do I want to be performing? Do I want to be doing cosmetics? Do I want to be doing quadrants, single teeth, implants, ortho? Write down the type of procedures you want to be doing that you love to do. And then conversely, write down all the stuff you can't stand that you despise, and it sucks the energy out of you when you see it on the schedule. Because what you're going to do eventually is not do that, because it doesn't do anything for you, and you're probably not doing a good job at it because you don't enjoy it. So really being clear about the stuff I'm willing to do and the stuff I'm not willing to do. Now the question becomes, as I sit here with all of these items written out, how do I get there? Right? So this is the end goal, right? I want to get to this location, but right now I'm here. How do I transition that? So now what you're going to do is you're going to prioritize these list of things that you did, right? So maybe it's clinical procedures. I want to do implants. I love implants. Fantastic. Do you have the clinical skill to do implants? No. All right. So the first step then is I need to go get some education on how to do the procedures or the stuff that I want to do. So what you want to do is break it down into baby steps. Prioritize this list over here of what you want your day-to-day activities to look like. And now phase 1 is going to be, what is the easiest thing that I can implement right now so I can feel successful to move toward it and have that vision that I can now communicate with my team of where we're going, and more importantly, why. One of the best books I've ever read was Simon Sinek's Start With Why. If you don't know why you're doing these things, you're certainly not going to communicate it effectively. And I think why you're doing it means more to your team than what it is you're doing or how you're doing it. So have clarity about why you just wrote all these things down. And now when you sit down with the team, you get to have a conversation of, hey, I like the practice we have. I want to make the practice better. I want to improve it. And in 5 or 10 years, I want the practice to look like this. Design and explain the dream day to your team so they can get it fired up about it. And you can communicate this vision of where we're going. And now you get to come back and go, okay, so step 1 is for us to do these things, right? We're going to break it down into these little itty bitty steps here. And then we're going to implement these things in the next 6 to 12 months. Then we're going to implement these things in the following 6 to 12 months, all leading us to this phase, this future. And what I think you'll find, if you have that kind of a vision that excites you, it's going to excite your team. If it doesn't excite you, it won't excite your team. And that's where a lot of the discrepancy comes in. So having a good vision is first and foremost about you being excited about what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is, these things that you wrote down, but it matters to you that they juice you up so much that you're like so excited you can't wait to tell your team. And then make sure you tell your team why. And then have them help you design how to make this happen. Because I think what you're going to find with a vision like this, your team's going to get very excited about it. And it's going to create a culture of people who want to come to work, who want to perform together, who want to accomplish these things. And then it's just a matter of executing. The hard part is coming up with a vision that excites you, that fires you up, especially if you're sitting there thinking it's not realistic. If you're sitting in your practice right now going, there's no way that I can pull this off. I mean, we have this in this time of day and time of life and season to where we have these challenges. And that's why I asked you to design a dream that is 10 years away. Most people can't think about in a year or two transitioning that fast. In 10 years they can. What I find is what most people do this, the dream they had in 10 years they accomplish in 3 to 5. That should excite you. So the key is to dream big and dream audaciously so much it fires you up that you can communicate this excitement to your team. That vision will change the culture of your practice. So I hope you found this to be helpful to help you create a roadmap to a vision. And if maybe there's some other missing pieces, watch some of the other videos relative to it. If you need some help on designing this, our company's great at this. We'd be more than happy to help you with this if you want to reach out to us. But otherwise, stay tuned for more content on how to improve it.